everybody, and welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, now made by Disney or Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it. Legends. Don't worry, I don't really have any spoilers today for the novel that I'm discussing, because I don't have too much to say about it. Like, I tried to think about stuff to write down, but I just didn't write that much. But I do have some additional things to talk about before we get to the novel that we're discussing today, which we have Crimson Bounty, which is an adventure journal number 14 by Charlene Newcomb and Rich Hanley. It is a decent little story. We got two smugglers, two scoundrels, I guess. Maybe not scoundrels, but two smugglers um, trying to do stuff. There may be a traitor. You gotta read the book to find out, or the short story. It is fine. It was a good one. Nothing great. Does it really add anything to the expanded universe as a whole? Not really. But it's something you can read around here. But the big one, which was, I think, in Star Wars Insiders or Adventure Journals, but you don't have to look there because you can buy Tales of the Empire, which is a paperback filled with a bunch of short stories. You can read a story called Side Trip by Timothy Zahn and Michael Stackpole. So again, we have another collaboration between Stackpole and Zahn. The last time they did this, or at least the last time that I saw this, was Interlude at Darknell, which is also a four-part short story series, but that was before episode 4. So basically, Black Sun is causing some issue. Well, Zizor has a dude on Corellia who's doing some shady stuff. And Thrawn is also going to be involved in this. But wait, what? Isn't he supposed to be in the the unknown regions? Yeah. But he is doing something. He's doing a favor, I guess I should say, for somebody. So he dresses up as Jodo Kast. Who's Jodo Kast, you may ask? Well, Jodo Kast is a bounty hunter who, not all the time, but often likes to pretend to be Boba Fett. He has his own Mandalorian armor, and the only real difference between his armor and Boba Fett's is that his has a yellow coloring to the visor instead of the red on the visor. So, you have Thrawn pretending to be a guy that already pretends to be somebody else, which is kind of crazy. And because they go to Corellia, and we are only a few years away from the X-Wing novels, who do we have here? Well, we have yet again Hal Horn. He was also in Interlude at Darknell, but we also have somebody else this time. We have Corran Horn here as Corsac, the police officers of Corellia. And so they're trying to stop Black Sun because criminals are bad, regardless. Because Corellia would like to remain independent from the Empire, but obviously has to accommodate the Empire at times. And so it's overall just a really, really fun short story. It's a slight prequel to the Thrawn trilogy. It's a slight prequel to the X-Wing novels. It's a slight prequel to Shadows of the Empire. It's not really like you don't need to know those to enjoy this, but it is kind of like not setting up necessarily, but I guess in a way it is kind of set, without getting into spoilers, it is setting up certain things that you will see down the line. So, but it was really fun to see just Thrawn interacting with certain characters like Corran Horn, right? And the thing with Corran Horn, isn't that a contradiction? Corran never knew Thrawn or anything. Well, he didn't know he was talking to Thrawn. He thought he was talking to Jodo Kast. Therefore, no contradiction. But it was a really fun series, or 4-part. It's like basically the size of a young adult novel, reading them all together, so fairly lengthy. Thrawn's going into the situation for his own reasons. Corran Horn and Hal Horn are doing it because they're cops and they want to stop criminals. So there's multiple layers as to why people are doing the things that they're doing, but it all converges at the end, and it was a lot of fun. Some things I'll mention aren't like a major spoiler or anything. That um, pretty much up until this point in the expanding universe, if you're reading in chronological order, Thrawn has been referenced as Captain, Captain, Captain. In the Dark Forces novella, he's Captain. In the Galaxy Fear book, he's Captain. In Choices of One, he's Captain. So here, at least chronologically, is the first time we hear that Thrawn has now been promoted to Grand Admiral, as we usually think of Thrawn as the Grand Admiral. So that's pretty cool. Corran and Thrawn do interact at some point, and they discuss art, which was a lot of fun. That whole discussion they have in this like in the midsection of the short story. I think it's part 2, maybe part 3, but they talk about art, and it's just a really fun scene. Um, at the end of the book, I'll say, or at the end of this short story, I'll say slight spoilers. But why was Thrawn doing all this? Because he's supposed to be in the unknown regions. So why is he out here? Well, Vader asked him to do a favor. Because if you've read Shadows of the Empire, you know that Vader does not like Prince Caesar. So it's a whole thing of him trying to hurt Prince Caesar while not leading it back to him, because he knows that at this moment he does have favor with the Emperor. So he has Thrawn take care of this to where it can't be brought back to him. And it's just excellent. And a gift that he gets, or that Thrawn gets, for helping Vader is that the Noghri that were super loyal to Vader, Vader gives to Thrawn, which I thought was a really cool connection to the Thrawn trilogy. Thrawn also recommends to Vader because Veers shows up in this book. Veers is the guy we see in the AT-18 episode 5 saying that you should consider giving him a promotion. Just like all these little things connecting to bigger things. It was really cool. But this was absolutely one of my favorite. This and Interlude of Darknail, hands down, such good short stories. Like a lot of these short stories I read, they're always, they're either bad, okay, or just fine. But like the Charlene Newcomb Crimson Bounty, it's that one's pretty good. But I don't remember. I won't remember much about it like a month down the line. Side Trip, I'm not going to forget anytime soon, and that's how you know you found a good story. If it sticks with you, if you forget about it and in the next week, then it didn't really grab hold of you. Which is sadly what a lot of Rebellion era kind of feels like, because you can't do anything substantial. But this, while being contained because it's in between the movies, it does set up things for later that I think are pretty cool. So overall, fantastic. Last thing I have to discuss is the novel. That's the title of this video today, which is Star Wars Razor's Edge by Martha Wells. So this was one of the last books to come out before the Disney buyout. This came out after... No. This came out before Honor Among Thieves, but chronologically takes place after. Honor Among Thieves was the last book in the expanded universe, but this one was one of the last ones, because it was 2013. But this one is very Leia focused. We do have Han in here, we do have Luke, so we have the general gang, but this one is primarily about Leia, which is good because we don't really have any stories that really focus on Leia outside of comics. That being said, I found the novel fun, but I don't find it very memorable, and I don't think it's a story that you'll really remember after reading it. It's a very generic sort of plot. There are some interesting things in here. Leia dealing with the fact that she is this symbol of hope to the Rebel Alliance. How does she cope with that? Obviously, a whole planet blowing up, you're not going to get over it in just a couple years, she's still dealing with that. And the big catalyst in this story is that they meet pirates at some point, but the pirates turn out to be Alderanian survivors. So that's kind of like the tension with Leia, is now she has people left over, her flesh, maybe not flesh and blood, but her people are here, and they're pirates, and they're stealing from people and stuff, and it's stuff that bothers Leia. There's also MacGuffin that they're trying to find material for Echo Base, which is the base in Episode 5 on Hoth. But it really doesn't matter, because by the end of the book, they don't get it. They are unable to retrieve it, so in the end, the book feels inconsequential. It didn't really add anything. I will say Leia's written great. I think that the dynamic between Han and Leia is really good in here. I was kind of iffy if it's like it's 2013. Is Han gonna be stupid or something in this book? But he was really competent, and Leia was really competent. They were equal, which was good. There is a traitor in this book. I'm not even gonna spoil you with it or tell you anything about it. We've seen traitors in the Rebel Alliance like so many times now if you're going in chronological order. It gets old. If you only read the novels, then yeah, maybe this would be like new for you. But it's generic. It's been done to heck, and it's 2013. Like, there's been stories for 30 years. You couldn't like not. You couldn't, I don't know, do something better. Because Rebel Force, which is a young adult series that came out before this, did the exact same thing, or almost the exact same thing, with a traitor giving information to the Empire. Okay? Again, it's been done before. So it just comes off as tiring to see again. Most of the book, we have Leia interacting with Alderanian people that are pirates. And action stuff ensues. They go to different locations. It ends at like an asteroid base where things go down. There was a really cool death near the end of the book where somebody uses like mining equipment and like makes this guy's head like just break, just like folds in. If it's, I don't know if it folds in, but it like, the head is gone by the time he's dead is what I'm trying to say. It was very graphic. But overall, the book it's fine. If you want a book that just focuses fairly much solely on Leia, then this is probably the book for you. And I mean, there are parts that I really appreciate about it. It's just, it's one of my biggest gripes with the Rebellion era. Because all the character development, again, must come from the movies, you're kind of limited on what you can do here. But I don't know, I just expected more. If you're 2013, right, you have the entire expanding universe at your disposal. But this book doesn't really have any connections to anything. It's just kind of this self-contained story, which is fine. But again, it feels generic. And I had fun with the time I spent reading it. But it's also nothing special. So I guess it's overall just kind of my thoughts. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Sharing helps a ton. If you love this book, let me know in the comment section below. If you hated this book, also let me know in the comment section below, because I'm pretty in the middle with it. I think it's fine. But yeah, until next time, guys, may the Force be with you.